there's a very simple and powerful method to end the belief in thoughts. Now, first of all, we can say that thoughts in of themselves are not the problem at all. If right now thoughts are just arising and dissolving in this effortless awake openness, then there really isn't a problem. There is really no need to apply this method. If, however, the same thoughts continue to arise and we keep getting mesmerized by them, we fixate on them because we seem to believe in them, then this method can be very, very helpful. So this method can be called unfindability inquiry. What we are essentially doing is bringing this limiting belief, this mental construction, into the foreground, and then we're simply seeing through it. Now, seeing through it does not mean that the thought needs to disappear. The thought can be there, but if the thought is seen through, it has no mesmerizing power. We don't feel limited and identified by it. It's just a bit of language, a bit of imagery passing through awareness. So, before we start this inquiry, it is important to be as clear as possible about what this limiting construction actually is. Now, I don't want to convince you of a construction that's not present for you. So you know best if there is or is not some kind of limiting belief present in your experience right now. If it's not here right now, if it's somehow not present right now, but you still are convinced that it's very often operating in other situations, then just remember what that construction is and allow it to arise in the here and now. And just be clear with it. It can also be helpful to actually just write this construction down, word by word, because then we really know what we are investigating. Likewise, it can be helpful to do this with another person. Just say aloud what that construction is, and then stay with it. We're not wavering and moving to a new construction until this construction is actually seen through. So, one possible limiting construction might be, I can't be complete unless this feeling of fear dissolves. So that kind of construction gives us a lot to work with. For example, there's an I in that construction. I can't live with this feeling. I can't be complete. So, what are we actually talking about when we say, I can't? What is that I? Do we find it in our experience right now? Just be totally open, curious, with the actuality of experience. How is it actually? Do we find this I right now? Really make sure you look wherever you can, however you can. You might find that you can't find this I. But even more fundamental than that, what even is that I can't find? Can we actually define in our experience what it is that we are looking for, what that I should look like in our immediate experience. Now, what we're finding here right now is that we can't define and we can't find this limiting I. So, what's the point of it? The point is just that this limitation cannot be verified. Now, we don't move to another belief that says, there is no I, there is no self. That's too much mental work. That's just another construction. That I couldn't be found. So where does it leave us? It leaves us here, in this deep, vast, not knowing, where nothing is lacking, and there's just the simple presence. Now, going back to that construction, maybe it's not really the I that seems problematic, but instead we feel very immersed in the construction of that feeling. So we had that construction, I can't be complete with this fear or with this feeling. So how is that feeling actually in our experience? Again, when we're working with a feeling, we're looking at it in the here and now. How is that fear showing up for us? Where are the boundaries of that fear? Where exactly is it located? Just in those two simple questions, where are the boundaries and where is it located, very often we just end up not finding this problematic object. We see with immediacy that it's not how we thought it was. How it actually is totally different. There isn't this stuck sensation in the body. When we're with how it is, there is this moving, shifting flow of sensation arising in this awake openness, never stuck, never limited. So, again, we don't end up finding that limited thing we believed to be there. And again, we're just dropped into this not knowing. We can't define and pin down what this actually is, this thing we call fear. It's just here. Nothing to do with it. It isn't that limitation. There isn't someone who is bothered by it. And there isn't that something which is bothering us. We're just in the simple presence. So whatever your particular limiting belief looks like, just bring it into the here and now, into the immediacy of awareness. And just see how it is. Now I can have the thought, I can't be complete with this fear. And it's just that. It's a neutral arising in awareness. It is not problematic. It is not a belief. It is not limiting. It's just a bit of movement in this completeness.